evening. It's Saturday, the 28th of September. It's just past 6 o'clock, and welcome to our Saturday evening news programme. And in the news this week, a new operating theatre at Weymouth Community Hospital has been upgraded to allow Dorset County Hospital to perform a range of surgeries in Weymouth and to help reduce waiting lists. Dorset Healthcare, which manages Weymouth Community Hospital, has refurbished and upgraded the theatre so that Dorset County Hospital can use it to perform a range of surgeries, such as orthopaedic procedures to treat bone, joint and muscle conditions, and maxillofacial surgery to the face, jaw, neck and mouth. Dorset County Hospital had used the operating theatre before COVID, but the space needed to be upgraded to allow more procedures to be carried out. The refurbishment project is a result of a collaboration between the two trusts and the new shared leadership arrangements. Matthew Bryant, who's Chief Executive of Dorset Healthcare and Dorset County Hospital, said, "We are delighted to expand our services based in the community and to be able to provide this facility at Weymouth Community Hospital. We are still recovering from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on waiting times, and this upgraded theatre allows Dorset County Hospital teams to carry out more operations, which will reduce waiting lists and improve the quality of life for those in need of surgery." A man has been found guilty of careless driving in Winchester Crown Court this week after he tragically killed a 94-year-old lady from Wyke Regis. Egoras Kondratis, who had been collecting bags of clothes on behalf of a charity, reversed his van over pedestrian Sylvia Bentley outside her home in Wyke Regis before moving forward and hitting her again. The jury returned a unanimous guilty verdict this week after the court heard that the driver had 3 other motoring convictions, including one just 16 days after the fatal crash for using his mobile phone whilst at the wheel of a vehicle. Following the fatal crash in Woolland Gardens, Wyke Regis on May the 2nd, 2023, the defendant had denied causing death by driving his van without due care and consideration while over the specified limit for a controlled drug, in this case cannabis. Mr. Kondratis, who comes from Lithuania but has been living in the UK for 11 years and is a married father of 2, will be sentenced in December. Kondratis from Southampton was found to have 2.8 micrograms of cannabis in his blood, the legal limit being 2 micrograms. The judge, His Honour Judge Mosley KC, told the defendant, "The jury have convicted you unanimously of a very serious offence. I am not going to sentence you today because I want more information about you from the probation service." Kondratis will be sentenced at Crown Court on the 6th of December once a pre-sentence report has been prepared. He continues to be on police bail and has been given an interim driving disqualification. On Friday the 20th of September, the Environment Agency reopened the final consultation into an application for a permit to operate a new waste incinerator in Portland. This has come about because an administrative error during the public consultation in the summer meant some people who wanted to submit a response may have been unable to. However, if you did submit a response to the consultation that closed on the 11th of August, your comments will have been received and there is no need for you to resubmit your response. Although a final decision has yet to be taken, this does not mean that the earlier decision has been reversed and the Environment Agency is still likely to grant the permit. The permit will be granted unless the Environment Agency receives new information that gives cause for not allowing the permit to be granted. However, the reopened consultation does give the opportunity to put forward any new information that you have that could make a difference. Issues that could be considered are relevant environmental regulatory requirements and technical standards, information on local population and sensitive sites, comments on whether the right process is being used for the activity, for example, whether the technology is the right one, pollution control issues, the impact of noise and odour from traffic on site, and any permit conditions that may be needed. Issues around vehicle movements to and from the site, working hours and whether or not the site is suitable for this kind of work will not be considered by the Environment Agency since those matters are dealt with by the local authority planning process. Now, if you wish to make comments about the application, you need to do this by midnight on the 20th of October and you can email the Environment Agency at psc@environment-agency.gov.uk. World Heart Day is tomorrow. That's the 29th of September. And Public Health Dorset is urging eligible residents to book their NHS health check. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death globally, with 80% of these deaths being preventable. In Dorset alone, there are more than 34,000 people affected by cardiovascular disease. A free NHS health check can provide valuable insights into your cardiovascular health. This check can detect conditions such as diabetes, kidney disease, heart disease, and stroke. It also helps identify whether you are at risk of developing these illnesses and how some small lifestyle changes can help reduce your risk in future. Eligible residents are aged between 40 and 74, and they should receive an invitation from their GP surgery for these health checks every 5 years. Councillor Jill Taylor, Dorset Council Cabinet Member for Health and Housing, emphasised the importance of attending these checks. She said, just 30 minutes of your time can provide you with valuable insights into your health, potentially giving you the information needed to reduce your risk of developing serious illnesses. Early action makes all the difference. Now, if you've not been invited for your free NHS health check by your GP practice, you may be eligible for one from Live Well Dorset. Live Well Dorset's health check team are delivering free NHS health checks across the county. Now, to check your eligibility and to book an appointment, if you look for Live Well Dorset NHS health checks on Google, you will find the website and be able to go and answer a few questions. And if you qualify, then book in for your free health checks. That's Live Well Dorset NHS health checks. Dorset residents are being urged to go online and spend 5 minutes to complete the council's annual canvass. This is to confirm the details of those living at the address to ensure the electoral roll is updated accurately. There have been local and national elections this year, but the annual canvass is still a legal requirement and will be carried out by local authorities across the UK. The canvass allows the council to keep the electoral register up to date, to identify who is at risk of losing their voice at elections, and to encourage them to register before it's too late. Additionally, it plays a crucial role in jury service selection and is often used in credit checks for mortgages and other financial purposes. Now, you should look out for an email in your inbox from elections@dorsetcouncil.gov.uk and to follow the guidelines in the email. If your name is on the email you receive, then you are already on the electoral register and you do not need to register again unless your circumstances have changed. If you're not registered, your name will not appear on any email you receive and you need to register. You can register online at any time, and the easiest way to register is to go to the central government website, www.gov.uk/register-to-vote. In either case, you will still need to respond to the email if you receive it. However, households that do not respond to the email or do not have email addresses will be sent a letter. So if you're not on email or you don't respond to emails, then expect to get a letter in the post. Now, if you've got any questions about your registration status to check whether you're on the register or whether you need to inform them of anything, you can contact Dorset Council's Electoral Services team at elections@dorsetcouncil.gov.uk, or you can contact them by telephone on 01305 838 299. That's 01305 838 299. Now, this week's appeal from Dorset Police. Dorset Police are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information or dashcam footage of a road traffic collision in Weymouth to come forward. On Monday, the 23rd of September, at 8:38 p.m, the police received a report of a collision involving a grey BMW 3 Series and a silver Honda motorcycle in Lynch Road, Weymouth. The rider of the motorbike, a local man aged in his 60s, sustained serious injuries and was taken to hospital for treatment. His next of kin were informed. The driver of the BMW was uninjured. Road closures were put in place to allow emergency services to safely deal with the incident. The road reopened at around 12:40 a.m. on Tuesday the 24th of September. Police Sergeant Mike Gatfield of the traffic unit said, "I'm appealing to anyone who saw the collision or moments leading up to it to please contact Dorset Police. I'm keen to hear from anyone who may have captured the incident on either dashcam or home CCTV footage." Finally, I'd like to thank residents and motorists for their patience while the road was closed. This allowed emergency services to treat the injured man and to carry out an examination of the scene. Anyone with information can contact Dorset Police in the usual way, using the non-emergency number 101, or if you wish to give information anonymously, you can do this via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Now, anyone who is involved in voluntary or community groups in Dorset is being invited to help deliver the best support for families within communities through partnership working, with more information being presented and an induction session on the 30th of September. Dorset Council was selected last year by the government to be one of only 3 Pathfinder organisations to design major reforms to children's services, from family help to the edge of care, and to make sure these changes work well for families. The programme was known as Families First for Children, or FFC. Families First for Children, or FFC. A session to find out more, which is open to anyone who is part of a voluntary or community group, is being held at the Dorford Centre in Dorchester on Monday, the 30th of September, that's this Monday coming, from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. John Sloper spoke on behalf of the Dorset Voluntary and Community Sector Assembly. He said, "We will be providing the support that voluntary and community groups need to make this really work for Dorset families. There is a huge amount of local expertise in the voluntary community sector, and we are keen to use that along with their innovation and creativity to support families in the places where they live. We're looking for anyone involved in community groups that connect with families, such as toddler groups, food banks, or youth groups, to come and find out more at this session." Now, anyone who wants any information on this session and information on how to book a place is quite a complex website address. So if you drop us an email to news@whiteregis.tv, news@whiteregis.tv, we'll ping across the information to you so that you can click on the links and register for that session, which is on Monday at the Dorford Centre from 9:30 to 12:30. A service launched earlier this year for children and young people with additional needs is already making a difference to their lives. Dorset Council's Birth to Settled Adult service, which launched in April, supports children and young people with complex health needs, disability, or who have special educational needs, and is currently making a difference to almost 1,000 children and young people in the county. It is designed to help the transition into a settled adulthood, with the social care teams from both children's services and adult services working closely together alongside colleagues from health and other partners. The approach of the service is to embed principles of independence, strong links with communities, and an ambition that young people are supported to thrive. The partnership includes those who work closely with children, young people, and families. Dorset Parent Carer Council is run by parents and carers for parents and carers of children and young people from 0 to 25 with special educational needs or disability, otherwise known as SEND. Since the launch, Best Start in Life advisors have joined the service with a focus on education and development for 0 to 5 years. The Young Carer Service have also been included. Councillor Claire Sutton, Cabinet Member for Children's Services, Education and Skills, has said, "We want all our children to be prepared for adult life, and this includes young people who might have additional needs. It's great to see the progress being made by this new service, which cuts across both children's and adult services, and I look forward to hearing about more successes over the coming months, so our young people really feel that they are part of their community." Now, on Wednesday, the 25th of September, Managing Director of the Gardens Group that operates garden centres in the Southwest, Mike Burks, was presented with the Pearson Memorial Medal by the Horticultural Trades Association. Recognised for his role at the forefront of environmental work within the industry and his outstanding contributions and leadership within the sector while running Poundbury Gardens near Dorchester, Castle Gardens in Sherborne and Brimsmore Gardens in Yeovil. Mike received the prestigious award at the Health Trades Association conference held at the International Convention Centre in Birmingham. Will Armitage, who's president of the Horticultural Trades Association, said, "Mike's contribution to the industry is incredible. He is part of the Gardens Group, which operates 3 garden centres in the southwest that are some of the best examples of horticultural retail in the country. And the Christmas displays headed up by his wife Louise have won the CGA Christmas Merchandising Prize more than any other retailer. He continues to be an articulate spokesman for industry issues, and his involvement in the ongoing conversion around the future of peat serves as a key example." The Health Trades Association awarded the Pearson Memorial Medal for outstanding service to the garden industry annually since it was instigated in 1930, and it's in memory of the Health Trades Association's first General Secretary, Charles Pearson. So well done to Mike there, who runs the Poundbury Garden Centre as well as others in the southwest. Now, dozens of jobs will be created by Marks and Spencer with the opening of a new store at the Weymouth Gateway site. The new building will be double the size of the seafront Marks and Spencer's, which will close when its lease expires in 2027. 60 jobs from the town centre store will be switched to the new building, with an additional 45 jobs likely to be created. Marks and Spencer say that the new multi-million-pound store will be full range, joining other businesses such as Aldi, B&M, Costa, Dunelm and McDonald's, which are already operating from the Gateway Retail Park. Dorset Council is expected to approve the planning application for the new store when its area planning committee meets this coming Thursday. Marks and Spencer's announced last summer that it will leave its current St Mary Street Weymouth store when its lease expires in 2027 due to site constraints which make it unable to meet the needs of modern shoppers. Its Dorchester South Street store closed some time ago, with the site set to become a Premier Inn. With almost 4,000 square metres of floor space, the new store will be bigger than the old Dorchester store and the existing Weymouth branch combined. Matthew Hake, who's the regional manager for M&S, said it's fantastic that plans are progressing for our brand new store. Our planned multi-million-pound investment in Weymouth is not only a sign of our commitment to the town, but to delivering the best possible store for our customers here. With the opening coinciding with our lease end, all colleagues will be able to move over to the new store or other nearby stores if they choose, and we will create 45 new local jobs. The planning application includes 234 additional parking spaces, including 10 for electrical vehicles with charging points and covered cycle racks, and associated infrastructure and landscaping. In addition, there will be a financial contribution to support Dorset Council's e-bike hire scheme. Now, beachgoers are reminded that as we go into autumn, it's now the end of the peak season for the RNLI lifeguards in the region, meaning that Weymouth Beach will no longer have patrols. This weekend will see the end of the main lifeguard season as the summer season draws to a close. The last day for RNLI patrols on the beaches will be tomorrow, the 29th of September. RNLI Regional Lifeguard Lead for the South West, Henry Sadler-Irvin, said, "This Sunday marks the end of our main lifeguard season for 2024. I'd like to thank our lifeguards for their hard work over the entire season, keeping people safe whilst they enjoy the coast. Our teams have shown immense dedication and skill in responding to numerous incidents and giving critical care to people who have found themselves in difficulty." So just be aware, if you're using Weymouth Beach from tomorrow, that the lifeguards won't be there until next holiday time. Now, Dorset County Museum are to hold a Teachers' Open Evening. Free to teachers and school staff on the 24th of October at 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and it will be at the Dorset Museum and Art Gallery. The museum says come and join the learning and engagement team at Dorset Museum and Art Gallery on Thursday the 24th of October from 4 to 7 for our Teacher Open Evening. Teachers and school staff are invited to meet the learning team at Dorset Museum and learn about our forthcoming exhibition programme, workshops and projects during an informal evening. Enjoy the Natural History Museum's Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibition, meet the museum's learning team and discover the school's programmes for early years, primary, secondary and post-16 and SEND learning. Excuse me. The evening is also a great opportunity to speak to the learning team about how we can support your school projects. And the good news is refreshments will be provided. So if you're a school teacher, put that date in your diary, 24th of October, 4 o'clock. Pop along to the Dorset County Museum and Art Gallery and see what's going on there and how they can support your work in schools. And finally, in our headlines tonight, a busy road in Weymouth is set to close for about 5 days. A section of Spa Road, Weymouth, will be closed 24 hours a day during this period in order to allow essential bridge repair works to take place near its junction with Dorchester Road. Works will begin on Monday, October the 7th, and the road closure has been put in place for 5 days. However, it's expected that works will be completed by Friday, October the 11th. A diversion route is put in place, which will see drivers use Ison Road to get to Dorchester Road and vice versa. The road closure will cover a distance of approximately 110 metres. Emergency access to the area will be maintained at all times. So that's the end of Spa Road by Dorchester Road. It's where the bridge is, and it's for bridge work. So that'll be shut from the 7th of October for that week. And that's the end of our headlines this week. Now it's that time in our programme where we go over to regular contributor Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, the long-awaited Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis arrives in cinemas. The film is the legendary director's first film in 13 years and revolves around a visionary architect played by Adam Driver as he clashes with a corrupt mayor played by Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad, Boys, Mandalorian, in determining how to rebuild the metropolis of New Rome after a devastating disaster. The cast also contains Nathalie Emmanuel, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, Jon Voight and Lawrence Fishburne. The film has been in development since 1977, so nearly 50 years it's been in development, and is entirely funded by Coppola, as it's a passion project for him and he doesn't trust the studio system. He never has. And the film has already been subject to numerous controversies prior to its release, such as sexual harassment scandals, staff disputes, the art department was fired on this film. Fabricated reviews from the trailer. I talked about this previously a few weeks ago, that a new trailer for Megalopolis featured what I thought were quite smart reviews, but it turned out those were fake, and in general just struggles to get the film released because distributors didn't want to take a chance on the film. But the film premiered at Cannes in late May to a very literal 50-50 split on critic opinions, who either liked it or they didn't. I heard a review this morning, so Friday morning, that they really didn't like it. They thought it was a really terrible movie. So Megalopolis releases in cinemas this weekend. This weekend, the comic book adaptation Hellboy the Crooked Man is released in UK cinemas as a sort of a limited release. The film is the fourth adaptation of the Hellboy comics and is the second standalone reboot to the Hellboy film series. This film stars Jack Kesy as the titular character in this horror-oriented take on the character. The film is set in the 1950s and revolves around Hellboy and a rookie BPRD agent getting stranded in rural Appalachia. It's like a mountain area in America. But they find themselves involved with a devil from Hellboy's past known as the Crooked Man. It's based on a popular comic book run of Hellboy comics. As far as I know, I've not actually read any Hellboy comics. I've seen 3 Hellboy movies, but not read any comics. The film is receiving a limited theatrical release. It's not being released theatrically in America. It's more of an independent production. So the critic reviews are few, but the ones out there are mixed, who praise the film's smaller gothic horror-oriented nature. I've seen in a review it was compared to the 1980s Evil Dead film. But they criticise it when it attempts to veer towards blockbuster territory. So Hellboy, The Crooked Man, released in cinemas this weekend. It's coming out on Blu-ray in December. I will watch it then. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week. Very excited to be previewing Joker Folie à Deux. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and we'll be back with Andrew next week to hear what the latest movie and film release news he has for us. Now it's time in the programme to go to the Met Office for the weekend weather forecast, the national forecast, and this week we are joined by Catherine Chalk.
Hello, welcome to your afternoon weather update from the Met Office. A brief respite in the weather for some of us over the weekend, but turning increasingly unsettled from the west. We've got a ridge of higher pressure across the UK through today, but as we go through Sunday, another area of low pressure is going to be moving across the country through Sunday, Monday, eventually gradually clearing through on Tuesday. So we're going to expect some stronger winds and further outbreaks of heavy rain for some of us. But back to this afternoon, plenty of fine and dry weather out there, especially across much of Wales and the south of England with some sunny spells. Further across the north, so Northern Ireland, northwestern parts of England and across Scotland, some cloudier conditions here with some showers or perhaps some longer spells of rain, especially into Orkney. Now, we have got lighter winds out there compared to Friday, so it should be feeling a little bit warmer where you do catch some sunshine, but generally temperatures are still a little bit below average for the time of year, up to 11 or 12 degrees across Scotland, further towards the south, highs of 15 to 16 degrees. Now, as we go through this evening, many places across the south of England staying largely dry with some clear spells. Still a few showers affecting northwestern parts of England and across Scotland, once again pushing more so into Orkney. So there'll be some clear spells around through tonight, but temperatures aren't going to be quite as low as the night just gone, but we may see a touch of frost in the countryside with temperatures dropping into the low single figures. But further towards the west, that's where we've got another area of low pressure. So it's going to be a mild start here with increasing amounts of cloud and some strong gusty winds. So we have got a Met Office wind warning that is in force across the southwestern parts of England and into Wales as well. We could see gusts 50, possibly even up to 60 miles per hour. And we'll start to see some heavy outbreaks of rain as well, pushing it into parts of Northern Ireland later. But further towards the north, across Scotland, much of eastern England as well. Although the cloud will be increasing, we should get away with a dry start to the day at least, with some hazy spells of sunshine. Now, temperatures still ranging from 13, 14 degrees in the north, further towards the south, 15 or 16 degrees. Notice 17 degrees further towards the southwest, but we have got some heavy outbreaks of rain and strong winds, so probably feeling quite unpleasant through the afternoon. And as the afternoon progresses, further outbreaks of rain, heavy at times. So we have got a yellow rain warning in force, so there could be some difficult driving conditions with spray on the road and some flooding too. And the rain and the strong winds continue to progress across much of the Midlands and into southeastern England and across Northern Ireland as we go through Sunday evening. Staying largely dry and clear across the far north and east of Scotland and Northern England. So there's a lot going on in the weather once again, but make sure to hit subscribe on YouTube so you stay up to date with the latest forecast. I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you very much there, Catherine, for the national weather forecast from the Met Office. Now, turning to the local weather for this week. In Catherine's forecast, we saw that actually the warmest part of the UK is the southwest, and luckily that's to continue this week. Although the weather on Sunday and Monday is going to be a little bit wet and stormy. Hopefully the rest of the week is going to settle down a bit with the winds dropping and some sunny spells and still being reasonably mild but quite cold at night. So we'll wait and see what happens with the weather this week, but not too bad once we get past Monday. Now, turning to the what's on for the coming weeks. First of all, starting with Weymouth Pavilion. We have got 4th of October and finally Phil Collins. 9th of October, Imperial Classic Ballet presents Swan Lake. 12th of October, The Illegal Eagles. 13th of October, a tribute to the Carpenters. 17th of October, the Chicago Blues Brothers. 18th of October, the Ed Sheeran Experience. And 27th of October, Buddy Holly and the Cricketers. That literally is 5 or 6 out of a whole month's programme where there literally is something every day of the week. So do check in on the weymouthpavilion.com website where you can see all of the things that are happening at Weymouth Pavilion over the next month or more. In fact, you can probably see for the next year because it is absolutely jam-packed with stuff and more stuff is being added all the time. So do check in with the Weymouth Pavilion website. Turning to the Noath Fort, tomorrow, Pause for Fort returns, calling all dog owners, dog lovers and dogs themselves to the best event of the year, Pause for Fort, 10:30 until 4 p.m. So the Fort are partnering again with Dog Friendly Social for the Dorset Dog Friendly Business Awards and Family Fun Dog Show with home field canine training, plus local stallholders, gift ideas for the whole family, and of course, all your beloved furry friends. So do pop along there tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will be nice for that. Now, Saturday the 5th and Sunday the 6th of October is going to be the Pirate Weekend. Bring along your little buccaneers for a day of shenanigans, including walking the plank, panning for gold, and more things here at the Noath Fort. Then on the 9th of November, 10:30 to 4 p.m, is the Remembrance Installation. They're building on the past 2 years' efforts. The Noath Fort volunteers and visitors and community groups have been creating a cascade of poppies, all made from recycled bottles. Some poppies have been named in honour of loved ones that have defended the freedoms of the country and protected our way of life. Now, the unveiling of the installation will follow a remembrance service held at the Noath Fort on Saturday the 9th of November. Keep an eye on their website for further information, and that is noathfort.org.uk. Now, I've been mentioning Abbotsbury and Portisham, who are celebrating their millennium all of this year, obviously going back to 1024 and King Canute. I checked on their website earlier today to see what was happening in October, and I noticed on the 26th and 27th of October, in about 4 weeks or so's time, they're going to have a scarecrow and pumpkin event. Now, if it's anything like some of the other rural villages, this is where you drive through the village and you see all sorts of different scarecrows dressed up and in all sorts of places in the villages. So hopefully that's something to look out for. But do pop along to their website, map24.org. Keep an eye on it because there are things happening right up to the end of December. Now, just remains me to say that our other, church services, I almost forgot those. Church services in White Regis this weekend. There's an 8 o'clock communion at All Saints Church. There is no 9:30 service at All Saints Church tomorrow, but there is a joint parish service at 11 o'clock at St Edmund's Lane House, and this is a harvest festival service for the whole parish, so no 9:30 at All Saints Church tomorrow, but a joint service at 11 o'clock, which will be followed by a bring and share harvest lunch. That just basically means you stay after the service, you bring some sausage rolls or some cheese and biscuits or some sandwiches, and you put it on the table and everybody shares in what everybody else has brought. So that's tomorrow. Tonight we have our quiz at 7:30, of course. All are welcome to join us. It's free, it's family friendly, and that will be at 7:30 with the streams going live about 7:20. So that you can get yourself comfortable and check that you found the right links and things are working. And the other thing to say is a year gardening from Clive Gray, the September edition, will go out tomorrow, that's Sunday at 4 o'clock, and be repeated on Friday at 7 o'clock. And now, heard from Clive earlier today, we think he's going to do one more main programme this year for October, and then he usually takes a break through to the new year. So this is the September programme. We hope in a few weeks' time to have the October programme, obviously looking at what's going on in the garden this time of year. So do look out for those. Always good advice, and it's always good to see what Clive is doing in his garden. Now that brings us to the end of this week's programme. If you've got any news or stories for us or any events coming up, or if you need any further information or links or websites from any of the stories we've covered tonight, please do drop us a link, news@whitegregies.tv. We run that 7 days a week, and we're always pleased to hear from you. So do get in touch. Other than that, it just remains for me to say have a brilliant weekend and a good week ahead, and I look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.